Hi there, we're back. In his book, The Business of Honor, Bob Hassan sort of joined the noun and the verb tense of honor together, kind of made them the same. And what he came up with was very, very interesting. He said, honor is all about seeing what is valuable, wonderful, and miraculous in other people and appreciating, being in awe of, loving, acknowledging, and otherwise responding to them in the way they deserve. Wow. Think about that one. That's honor. Like, wow. Yeah, it kind of sticks with me. Now, we all walk through life with the framework of beliefs that shape our paradigms, or the lens that we see ourselves and others. Stephen Covey said one time that, well, actually not many times because it's in the same book, so we read it many times, that we tend to think we see things as they are, that we are objective, but this isn't the case. We see the world not as it is, but as we are. So as human beings, we are story driven. We're constantly looking for meanings in our experiences. Like, you wake up in the middle of the night from a dream and wonder, oh, what did that dream mean? Or have you ever had something happen on your drive to work or your walk to work and something happens and you say, well, I wonder why that happened. And we're always trying to search for something that makes sense to us. We want to find the meaning of us. Us. We want to find our identity. Now, where do we find our identity? First thing we need to do is we need to look deep inside to find out what created our identity. And maybe not necessarily just what, but who created our identity, where it came from. If you look deep enough, you will find that your identity isn't actually yours. It's something that was created when you were a child, kept on growing from there, and it really didn't have any of your input. It didn't give you the opportunity to say, who am I? It's time to change that. As Yoda says, we need to unlearn what we have learned. So, we need to find your identity. And how do we find it? Well, finding your identity is one of the many steps of personal growth. I've been on a very cool journey of personal growth in the last close to a year. Really enjoyed it, learned a lot about myself. I've found my identity. I know who I am. I know why I had the beliefs that I have. I truly appreciate the coach that I've had that's been helping me through this, and the family and the tribe that we've kind of grown together. These are people from all over the world, and it really has helped me grow to become the person that I am and the person that I will be in the next 50 years. So what is personal growth? Personal growth is looking within yourself, which is why I keep holding myself here, and finding out who you are and what you can be. The challenge of personal growth and the challenge of going through this is there's always these aha moments where you're like, really? Oh my gosh, I never really thought of that. And we need to build upon each of these aha moments consistently. So, back to identity. One of the identities that I've seen is thinking that one doesn't have everything they need to succeed. Now, why would somebody have a thought like this? Well, here's a few reasons that it could happen. One is shame. Brene Brown, Dr. Brene Brown, she's a wonderful person. I've read some of her books. I've watched some of her TED Talks. I think she's done two that have really kind of intrigued me. A lot of other things, just an amazing person. I spent 7 hours in the car one day and I happened to have Audible on and I was listening to one of her talks. Wonderful person. She talks a lot about shame, so we won't really get into that, but maybe another episode. But there is a universal human experience that we all go through at one point that we are thinking that we don't live up to who we ought to be. And that's kind of the general premise for shame, that we're ashamed that maybe we're not where we are in life, or that we're not where we want to be, or not where we should be. Another thing could be mistrust. There's a lot of different things about trust, and it's something that's experienced by many of us in childhood. Your friends say, well, I'm going to come over on Friday, or let's go out to the movie on Friday night, and they never show up, and they go out and do something else, and then you find out that they did something. So you can start to lose trust, and then all of a sudden, when you have mistrust issues through family and friendship, a lot of times you'll start to kind of get your back up, and instead of saying, well, I don't want to take the chance that they're just not going to, they're just not going to show up on Friday night, so I'm just not going to, say I'll do anything with them. So that could be one thing too. And here's something new that I've learned in the last little while, is there could also be something called the poverty mentality. Now, the poverty mentality can be turned around, and of course other topics of conversation, but the poverty mentality basically tells us that the world is full of finite resources, or that the thought is that we're told and that we think that the world is full of finite resources and that we may not get what we need. And this in turn kind of drives into jealousy and competition, because you think, well, how come he has that and I don't? Or how come they have that and I don't? And oh, well, look what they're driving and I don't have something like that. But you can go out and get that. You just have to find it. And if you lose the competition and you let the jealousy drive in through you, then you start thinking that maybe you don't have enough to succeed. So regardless of some of these reasons, we need to realize that inside each and every one of us is the power to succeed at anything we put our mind to. We have it inside us. We really do. We can succeed. We can do what we want to do. And we have the power to do it inside us. We just need to find it and get it out. So remember Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz? She went through the whole movie. She met the Tin Man and the Lion and the Scarecrow, and walked on the yellow brick road and all this and other stuff. But the whole movie, she was trying to figure out, how is she going to get home? And how did she finally end up getting home? Well, she clicked the heels of the ruby red shoes, right? Click, click, click. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Well, guess what? She was wearing those throughout the whole movie. So she always had what she needed. She just didn't have the answers that she was looking for. We all have it. We all have it. We all have what we need. We just need to find it. And maybe we just need some help to find it. So go back to when you were a child. What set you apart from the other children? That is your first step in finding your identity. Now, want to talk more about finding your identity? Well, hey, send me an email, trevor@rightwealth.ca. You can message me through social media at rightwealthfs. That's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. And we can set up a 30-minute virtual meeting, chat on the phone, go back and forth on Facebook Messenger, whatever you want. But we can help and work to finding your identity. And don't worry, there's no cost or obligation to this. If somebody's looking for something, I want to help them succeed in doing what they're trying to do. And I want to give you support and guidance for helping to get to your identity. So be sure to make it a great day, unless you have other plans, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks.